Now that we're live, do we want to go around and show what we're working on?
Are we? Oh, yeah.
Yep. I don't know.
Yes.
Sammy said
I'll
she's
just-
on a delay, so.
Okay, I'll just start. This is Grandmother's House by Told in a Garden. And this is where I'm at on it.
I'm a good grandma there.
I
Put a
miss,
pie in the window.
yes, I'm missing some colors. I'm kind of having to jump around, but other than that, I think
Oops.
it's making a little bit of progress.
Well, you know, that happens. Is anybody actually working on a Plum Street sampler, or?
I am.
I was supposed to be, but it wasn't in the bag.
Oh,
It
well,
was.
I am. I didn't want to, but I saw the title and thought I better.
we don't have to.
It's Christmas tea. This
Renee, want to go next?
Christmas tea, Plum Street.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Crystal,
Look at those pretty birdies.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty birdies. All right. How about Jen next?
Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow.
Yeah.
What I'm working on. Because
All right.
do what Magical Stitches tells me to do. And I'm working
Yeah,
on
well.
Stitches homework this week.
Oh, okay, Sam. Oops.
Present.
I don't know how to do that, but
No, I mean you're up.
oh,
Show what you're
all right,
working
Sam. Me.
Oh, are you working on?
I'm not.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not working on Plum Street either. This is Barbara Anna. What's it called? A Pearl from the Sea is what it's called.
Ooh, look at this. Riding a flamingo?
Oh, you
Yes,
got
it's a mermaid riding a flamingo.
How cute is that?
She looks way creepy without her facial features, though. She looks
needs
way
a face.
creepy. I know. I'm gonna put her face in.
Okay.
For some reason, I felt the need to like stop doing her hair, though.
No. You want to show your work?
Yeah, who's next? She's the only one that we haven't shown, right? Besides Sammy.
So I'm working on my Hade.
Oh, kitty cat.
Yeah. Too sure how well it's gonna show. Yeah.
What do you have done there? Like 2 or 3 pages?
Yeah, I'm on the 3rd page.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on 40 count silk gauze.
Oh, you're the crazy that's doing the Hades on 40 count silk gauze.
Yes.
We were talking about you last night.
The crazy woman. Yeah. But it's gonna be nice and small, so I won't have to worry about taking up all my wall.
No, I mean, no, I get it. It's just that's insane. Your eyes are going to be so pissed at you when you're done.
I got these nice goggles.
I see.
Yeah.
Turn it over 1 or over 2?
Over 1.
Oh,
She's
Yeah,
really
it's
crazy, isn't she?
Yeah, it's 10 stitch because it's too tiny to do full crosses.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I mean, I'm stitching this now on 40 count, but over 2. I don't know if I could do over 1.
Yeah, I would imagine you'd have to do 10 stitch because there's no way you'd be able to get full crosses on it over one.
I just would look at something that size and say, there's holes? Oh,
It's amazing how big they look when you got the goggles on, but when I take these off, it's like it's all blurry.
You're like, are there holes there?
I've seen stuff stitched on it and it's amazing. I don't know. It's so tiny. But I love tiny stitches.
Just get something small and try it, and then you'll be hooked.
okay. I'll have to get some super califragilistic super duper goggles because how close I'm having to hold stuff to my face with that's like 28 count is, can't imagine.
Amazon has a whole bunch of them out there. Just take a look at Amazon. They've got a whole bunch with all sorts of different magnification and everything. I'm thankful I don't need any of that right now, but I've seen them.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Having a little bit of a dilemma here. So she's originally charted to be, like Caucasian skin. And now at the time I really was just going for tan because like if you have a mermaid who's up on land, she's not going to be pasty white.
Right.
But then she kind of turned out more African American than tan, which I'm okay with, no big deal. But now like her rosy cheeks, like
Oh,
I kind of have to change that color now too, don't I? Or would it look okay?
I think something more towards a brown tone or a peachy tone would look better on that dark.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see what color is it that's actually used here.
Like a bronzy kind of look or.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Could ask like EJ. He might be able to help you.
Yeah.
I
was trying to give her face tonight, but I guess maybe that's not going to happen until I like play around with some colors.
Well, I mean, you could skip her cheeks and do the rest of the face.
Yeah. I need to grab my stuff, my bobbin case here.
I'm thinking normally like a bronzy orangey tone.
I mean, right now the color that goes there that I've assigned to go there is DMC 352, which kind of does have like it's it's light. So if I go for like a darker version of that.
Yeah, what's the do you have the color card or no?
No, I don't have the color card.
Because otherwise I'd be like, what's the next one down from that?
Oh, I have a color card. I can check for you. What color was it?
352 is what I've got. Shelly Key X Stitch says lavender mermaid skin would be lovely. A lavender mermaid? I may have to make a lavender mermaid at some point.
That would be actually really stinking cute. Lavender.
Well, I do. Okay, so I do have another mermaid right now. I'm doing Cyrena from Lila's Studio. I wonder if I could. I could probably turn her purple.
Because she could be like your springtime mermaid. You have to have like a mermaid for each season.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So
this is my summertime mermaid, and
been out in the sun getting a tan, and then you have the lavender one. She's your springtime mermaid.
Yeah, why not? Hell, why not? What about this one?
Your autumn one could be like a witchy mermaid, because you know.
Ooh. What do you think of that?
Put that on top of her. And see how it looks. Like, how many stitches are we talking?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14.
On each cheek, or 7 and 7?
She's only got, no, she's in profile, so you've only got one cheek, but the patch on her cheek is large. It is a large peach patch. Oh no, the glare's there we go. You can kind of see it there. Now, of course, this is printed off at home. This isn't like a copy I purchased in an LNS or anything.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I know, it's like, because it's sometimes it's cheaper to just buy the download from the website.
Yeah, I found it on Creative Poppy.
Yeah.
so this is here's your color right here, 352.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the one underneath it?
What is that? Is that 351?
Yes,
351 looks way orange though.
or yeah, it does actually.
It looks way orange.
Number that.
What if you went with 3712? It looks more of a corally color. That's this one up here.
3712. That one. It's not bad. Not bad. 351 tan for a bottle.
Or there's 760 if you want it a little bit lighter.
That is really funny.
Let's see, 760. That doesn't have quite as much orange tone that I kind of want. See, the one I pulled here, kind of looking at it, was 21. So that's from the new 35. So if you're, I don't know how old your color card is, but
Anyway. Go.
well, you know what? I'll just keep them both out and let's just do a little bit of both and see which one I like better.
But always blend them.
I could try that too. I'll play around with it. Play around with it here and see what I like.
You can always unpick it.
Exactly. And this isn't like 1/1 on silk gauze or something, so
Yeah, you don't want
Some
to pick
crazies.
1/1 on 40.
no, I don't. This is 1/2 on, is it 32?
That's
Yeah, it's
even
32.
best. What's on here?
2/2, not 1/2, 2/2. And then her eye is charted in blue, but I think I'm going to do green.
That's good.
Oh, 21 is pretty good. Here's 21 on here. And there's also, yeah, you might. Here's a bunch of, so here's the 21. Then they
Yeah.
have all,
Yeah, there's like a color thing out there for like when you change skin tones and stuff from Lord Libidin. And I looked at it and I think the color it was wanting me to use for like highlights was like really bad. I don't remember what it was. I remember thinking, oh, the pink will be fine. But then now like I'm getting to the pink and I'm going, wait, never mind. That's not going to be fine.
I've only done one thing with the skin.
This is my first time changing a skin tone.
Wow.
So I originally was just going for tan, but she can be African American or brown of some sort that's not just tan. I guess
Like
I went a
got,
little too dark.
got stuck in the tanning bed.
She's like one of those one of those really old ladies in Florida that's been there for 20 years and baked herself, and she's got leather skin.
Oh, like and there's something about Mary.
Yes. Now stitching with these, you don't see much difference. Let's see. Let's cover this one over here. I think 21 is going to be my winner. The other one looks like raspberry on against the skin. It's gonna be really hard to actually show you guys that. Yeah. It looks like blush instead of rosy cheeks, and that's not what I'm going for.
Yeah, I don't want makeup on her.
No, I'm not putting makeup on my mermaid.
Giving
Piece
her
of
a
heavy duty
makeover.
waterproof shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
How do
that's
you
fine.
flamingo? Is it a
Huh?
flamingo or an above ground flamingo?
I have no idea. Because this thing is so confusing because it looks like she's standing in seaweed, but then there's flowers and then it's a mermaid on a flamingo. So I don't know. I don't know. It's funky is what it is. And I just absolutely loved it.
I know, I like it. It's on my list.
Hello, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Where are you?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to YouTube Live, Linda's arm.
I did not thread my needle.
Oh, oh my gosh. I'll be right
Live.
back.
She forgot we were live, I guess.
I remembered earlier today that it was, like I said, Plum Street, and I thought I had Plum Street in my bag, and then I didn't. So I'm like, well, I'm still going to be on anyway because it's rare that I get to be on this late. So.
Oh, I have a couple Plum Streets that are kitted, but they don't fit the homework for this season. This is
Yeah.
one of my only nights to stitch it.
I have a couple of Plum Streets started, but I'm working on this for a challenge. So
Yeah. Have to do what the challenges want.
yep. Oh, no. What did I do? Oh, I didn't do anything apparently. I thought I did something, but I guess not.
Get your StitchCon invoice?
I already paid that.
Yeah, I didn't. It's still waiting. But I'm on the wait list, so they haven't.
Yeah.
They're the people who already.
be awesome if you could come.
No, I'm hoping my number comes up, you know. But like last year, they got to people that were like down on the wait list.
Oh yeah.
Right, as it gets closer, there'll be people who'll be like, oops, yeah, I gotta drop out.
Yeah.
With work, I have to plan things like that.
It's funny. My husband today was talking about how he's looking forward to me going, and I was like, why? And he's like, so I can spend time with the kids. I was like, you can spend time with the kids whenever. I was like, there's more than one retreat. He's like, yeah, we don't have money for you to go to more than one retreat. I was like, you're right, I know, but still.
You could create and host your own retreat.
I've thought about it.
It's a lot of work.
I've thought about it, but yeah, I don't know that I have the time at the moment, just with the ages my kids are. But that is something I have thought about.
You can contact, what's her name? I'm blanking now. No?
Katrina?
Yes, Katrina. And see if you can do one near you.
I could.
He kind of does all the work. There's no hotel or travel involved for you.
Right.
You're only out whatever you spend.
Right. There we go. She's got her cheek now.
Oh.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it. I liked it. I like that color.
Yep, that's cute.
There it is. Oh, my needle isn't on the front of my needle minder. Let me check the back. There it is.
Oh, there it is. It's hiding.
I almost sat on a needle the other day and I was going, okay, I put this in a needle minder. What? I came back to my stitchy spot later and it was just chilling on the couch. I was like, okay.
Needle minder, you're not doing your job.
Right.
I still have not located a missing needle that disappeared off of a project.
Yeah, I miss. There was one that like I got a knot as I was pulling it and it went flying and I never found it. I don't know where it is. I still haven't found it. That was months ago.
No,
Well, it was a John James 28 petite.
Oh, at this point, it's like one with the carpet.
There's no carpet back here in the room that I lost it in. It's hardwood floor, but we
Okay.
have a couch and a chair and like 37 blankets. So like throw blankets and a couple of pillows, and it's just it's nowhere. It's nowhere. It's in the abyss.
Oh, mine, I like put my stitching down, and then like the next time I picked it up, the needle wasn't on the project. Like, I don't know where it went.
So somewhere in the universe, there's a whole bunch of needles just hanging out having a party.
Right?
Meet me
Need
at my
a
house.
party.
So I thought it was like caught up in something on the couch. So like I looked on the other needle minders of the other projects. Nope. Not on the fronts, not on the backs. Well, I don't know, but I better not step or sit on it.
Right.
It's not in my. It wasn't in my boobs because I've lost needles and found them there before. The worst.
I've
possible.
Ouch.
Yeah, I've lost and found a few on shirts before. But usually I get, stabbed in the tit when I lay down at night or something. Because it's like, oh, yeah, this was in the days before the needle minders, though.
But it's like, you know how you're stitching with it and all of a sudden it's just not on the thread like it's just not on your thread.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd the needle go?
Yep, that's that. Because usually it's like you get a knot, and so you're expecting it to come through, but then it doesn't because that knot stops it, and it's like, ding! Where the hell did that go? And so when that happens, you just kind of sit there like,
You're like dumbfounded. You're like, what the heck just happened?
exactly, and then you're also like, oh, damn it! Now I gotta find a needle.
That's me. I only have like a few with me, so when I lose them, I'm like, I want to stitch with.
Aren't you
Come back here.
I got me this little magnet wand. So when I drop needles, I can scan the floor to find them.
Mhm.
I had one of those. I think I don't know, it ended up somewhere when I used to go to an LNS, and I don't know if it ended up on the floor, if it ended up in somebody's bag. Then I had another one, and my roommate's boyfriend, it ended up in his tool chest. I never got it back.
Because it's even good, like you can run it through the chair and see if it picks up anything.
Okay.
I have a fear of stepping or sitting on something.
Yeah.
I have one of those. I got it at a retreat, like in my gift.
You go to the retreat?
Yeah, I think it was at the mirror retreat.
That's a unique little gifty to get in a retreat bag.
Mm-hmm.
Needle minders, cool. Krynic, okay. Magnetic wand, hell yes.
Yes. Awesome.
Let me write this down for when I have a retreat. Telescoping magnetic wands.
Yes.
I think you can get them for like 50 cents at Harbor Freight. Because my husband has about, I don't know, 32.
Wow.
You can get
He loses one and then he finds it again later after he's already bought a new one.
You can get them for free from your husband.
I don't want those anywhere near my stitching. They are dirty. He uses them when because like, I guess originally, they're made for, mechanics to pick up bolts and nuts and stuff like that fall into engines. Can't get your finger in there? Okay, stick the wand down there. That's why the magnets are so strong.
Right.
Oh yeah, it will snap onto anything.
Mm-hmm.
So have any of you checked out the new cross stitch app?
Which one?
No. Yeah, no, I haven't tried that one out yet. I don't have any of my full coverages that are covered by it with me, so I'll have to try that later on down the road.
I don't have anything Android.
Oh, if it's Android, I won't be able to try it. Nope.
Yeah, it's Android.
Yeah.
Nope. I have an iPad and an iPhone, so
I have everything Apple, nothing.
I mean, I technically have an Android powered tablet, but the reason I bought my iPad is because my the battery like won't stay charged unless it's plugged in. So like it works fine other than that,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of need battery power to like because it would be charged to 100. I would take it off and use it for like 5 minutes for a PDF pattern, and then it would immediately be like, oh, 15% need to charge. And it doesn't really have a charging port that's in a good place because like if I want to set it up and use it in the case,
Yeah.
the charger is on the bottom
Oh,
where I can't really plug it in.
right.
It's 10 o'clock.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Missed that.
I really wish I could remember where I put things.
It's over there.
I'm sure it is.
If you can't find it there, look next to the left.
I'm looking.
Yeah, I was
Look
commenting
left her.
on that the other day. How I'd remember, like, my dad, I'd ask, where is it? My dad would be like, wherever you left it. I'm like, if I knew where I left it, I wouldn't be asking. And then I'd find it. And he said, where'd you find it? The last place you looked? Well, yeah, why would I keep looking for it after I found it? But he was funny, like crazy like that.
Yeah.
He would just do it just to irritate me. He was hoping that it would encourage me to pay more attention and not lose things so easily, but all it did was irritate me.
Dads are good at that.
Yep.
My dad always talked about how his dad, like one time they drove by a cemetery and my dad says to him, hey dad, how many dead people do you think are in there? And he goes, well, all of them, I hope. And just answering questions like that, that's the only one that really comes to mind. But my dad's talked about it before, about how he used to just, come back with those smart aleck answers like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what dads are for, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Be right back. A child cries.
Found the envelope I was looking for. I had ordered bulk needles. So. I only have the teeniest little bit of thread left. I need to finish one stitch.
Terrific.
What's that?
My bill tracker. Like when you log that you paid a bill.
Oh, well, that's neat.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
River just wanted to inform me that she likes PJ Masks.
That's what
It's like, I was like, go to sleep, you turd.
you're being an asshole. You go to sleep.
Well, like I hear her cry. But I think she just shouted, but it kind of sounded like a cry. So I go in there to check on her, and she sits up, and she's all, "Oh, cat boy, I like PJ Masks." Except for she says Mimi Masks instead of PJ Masks for some reason. It's adorable. Whatever.
Too funny.
I was like, lay down and go to sleep.
You're so funny.
Oh, we get all of Linda, not just her arm now.
Oh, where?
Oh,
So we get all
here
of
you
Linda.
are.
See? Yep.
I found the envelope I was looking for. I read the package.
You were looking for an envelope.
Yeah, I was looking for like a pink envelope, pink double mailer that had my bulk needle order. But I found it right where I put it, so that I would know where it was. I cannot believe it's only 10 o'clock.
Just means I have to go soon.
Oh.
Because the husband will be home, and he likes when I spend time with him. So
You know, that's a good thing. Excuse me, please. Catch that fast enough to. Sorry, I didn't catch that fast enough to mute.
Oh, we're gonna have that conversation again.
Yeah.
what?
Okay, so what I told her, because she's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mute before I sneezed. And what did I tell her was, you only have to apologize if you poop your pants and we can smell it.
Oh, okay.
I turned off smell-o-vision for that exact reason.
We don't have that feature yet, so you're
if
fine.
if I just didn't have allergies, it'd be a whole lot.
Well,
Right? Life would be so much easier without allergies.
Mm-hmm. And I love the change of seasons, and we're changing into my favorite season of the year. Hopefully, we will not just continue summer until we turn to ice.
Right?
Like
I
we
hate
do
years
most
like that.
Most years we're just like, okay, summer, 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 fall for like 2 days, then ice, and then summer.
Fall is my favorite day of the year.
Yeah, favorite day of the year, exactly.
Do you live somewhere in the Midwest?
Huh?
Do you live somewhere in the Midwest?
No, I'm in Texas.
Oh, I'm surprised you get anything other than summer.
Well, if we get winter, we don't get snow, we don't get rain, we just get ice for like 20 days, and then we're back to summer again. We get just enough to like make it hard to get down the side roads.
Yeah.
'Cause the interstate, they keep that. I remember the first year I moved here, I moved from the East Coast here, and it was dry, and I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting this, because when I had been in Texas earlier in my life, it had 4 seasons, you know, definitely the 4 seasons, which it doesn't have anymore. And we finally got rain. I was like, oh, what is this wonderful stuff falling from the sky we haven't had all summer? And the very next day it was ice. And the driveway, so the front of your house is on the street where I lived, and the back of your house is your driveway that goes into the alley. So the house behind you, their driveway comes into the alley. So the guy across from us was trying to get out of his driveway, hit the ice, slid through the alley and up into, and crashed in all the cars in our driveway.
Oh, that's fun.
So then luckily I had parked on the street in front because the driveway was full. So then I was trying to drive down the street, and this snowplow, which, you know, they went through and basically sanded, but the way that they did it, it created like all these little mounds of, it basically made slush that then froze. So then like, and you're sliding at the same time you're bouncing over these little things because they're stuck.
That's basically February in Indiana.
Yeah. And then it was like 3 days later, it was like 80 degrees, and then it was like 90 degrees, and then it was the year we had like 40 some straight days in a row over 100. I was like, yeah, I'm just, why did I move to Texas? It's like, I never had seasonal allergies before I moved here. Like, what did I do to myself? I used to not really have I never really got along with extreme heat. But because I don't get along with heat now. Like as soon as it hits 70 outside, I'm like, okay, I can't breathe. It's too hot. You know, it doesn't say 70 long before it's like it skips 80 and just goes from 70 to 90. It's like 80 doesn't exist. But like the 60s, 70s is like, well, high 50s, 60s, low 70s is like my ideal temperature.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely in the wrong part of the country for that. But
I like the like anywhere between like high 40 to like low 70. Anywhere in there, I'm good.
yeah. I do like to get to wear a long sleeve shirt and a sweater and socks. You know, it's like I don't want to I don't have the legs to wear shorts all year. It's like I don't want to wear shorts all year. I want to wear pants.
I love to wear boots.
Mm-hmm.
I just like don't hardly ever have to wear my boots.
I think like the first year I was here, I wore a long sleeve shirt like 2 days when we had the ice. And then the second year, I moved from covered shoes to basically everything was open-toed with no socks. By the third year, I was in like flip-flops, tank tops. I was like, so I'm living in. It's too hot. But then when it does get cold, I mean, we've like I said, we get those icy cold temperatures some years, and that period of time I'm just as miserable as I am in the extreme heat. So
I don't like extreme temperatures. I'm just not one of those people.
it's like kind of once in the winter, kind of once my fingers and my toes get cold, I'm done. Like I'll be wearing gloves and socks and like shorts and a t-shirt because my hands and feet would get cold before the rest of me would. And I'm sorry for that beeping. I'm getting weather alerts because I was down in San Antonio for 10 days, so it still thinks I'm there, giving me flood advisories. Having a hard time getting them turned off here.
Give my grandmother her pills.
Uh-oh. My battery's gonna die on my iPad.
Oh no.
Yeah. I have to figure a way of getting it plugged in over here.
They make all this wonderful technology, but it seems like they keep saying they make better and better batteries, but I don't believe them.
Yeah.
Because every device just seems to goes along, has this great battery, usage for like a couple of months, and then suddenly it's like, I can't keep a charge. I can't stay,
I'm gonna see if I can plug it in before it gets gone.
I don't seem to have any issues with my battery on my iPhone or my iPad.
Oh, that's good. I know my iPhone, if I unplug, like right now I have it plugged in, which is what you guys are on, is my iPhone. If I unplug it at 100%, probably within 25 minutes, it'll say I'm at 30%.
How old's your iPhone?
Well, it is an older iPhone. It's a, let's see, it's a 6. Yeah, I think it's a 6. Something or another. I would look on the back of it to see, but I don't want to flip you all over. So that little slub messed me up there. I missed that whole little. I see what I did instead of, because I'm going over 2 on the one leg of that stitch. It looks like I went in not the corner hole, but the middle. Yeah, that's what I did. So it looks like I missed the whole corner of that stitch.
Oops.
Boy. So I'm wondering if I just go back in and put like a little quarter stitch in there, if that'll fix it. Instead of me having to frog out 100 stitches of white to fix it.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Just like tuck the little quarter stitch like under the full stitch going across.
Okay.
I think you'll be fine.
Because otherwise, like even from a little bit of a distance, it looks like from a little bit of a distance, it looks like I missed like a whole stitch. So, but when you get up close, it's just that the first leg didn't go all the way over to the corner. It went in the middle. So,
Shelly,
I can't see anybody. Can you hear me?
we can hear you. Yes.
Oh, now I see you. Yay.
oh,
Yeah. Sometimes it
You know
takes a second to connect.
now I can't see myself. What happened? Huh. What happened to me?
There
There
you
I am.
are.
Ugh, crazy.
Is my crunching bothering anybody? I can mute.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I was just about to ask you, what are you eating?
Little
long as you're
cheese Ritz sandwich
Yeah.
things.
As long as you're eating something good, I don't mind if you're crunching.
Nothing healthy. The kids have gone to
Okay.
bed.
Okay, like I said, something good. Not like you're eating like, carrot, broccoli, and acai berry, and
No, not right now.
chips, candy, cookies, good stuff.
Baby Ritz sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, generic, but
Yep. During this call or during this, I've just been like, where's that voice? There's no men in and then I realized it's the room next to me, the TV. Like I forget being in a hotel, the walls are not that thick and you can hear what everybody is saying or doing.
Yep.
Because I have the TV on here, but it's on mute, and I'm like, okay, so I've checked, a couple times, going, yeah, it's still on mute.
Yeah.
It didn't unmute itself, and
Be asking for a different room at that point if it unmuted itself. Be like, there's a ghost in my room. Can I have a new room, please? Thank you.
yes.
I listened to too many of those like true crime and ghost type podcasts and stuff. So
Well, when I first moved here, I had some friends coming to visit, and we were going to do a lot of the Dallas, the immediate downtown Dallas stuff, touristy stuff. And I said, well, instead of me going all the way to my home, because I live about 40 miles north of Dallas, I'm like, okay, that's it's not a huge drive, but it is if we've been doing the touristy thing all day. And then for me to turn around and come back the next day and, start up with everybody. So I said, well, I'll just put myself in a hotel too. And so I chose the one, I can't remember what it was called then because it's a La Quinta now, but it used to have, I think, Roosevelt or some sort of hotel. But its claim to fame was that in like early 1900s, it had presidents and stuff that stayed there, but it also has a ghost. And supposedly now that it's La Quinta, it doesn't have a ghost anymore. I'm like, because I went there, I was downtown a few weeks ago, and I just stopped in there because I'm like, I wanted to see the differences since it became a chain hotel, you know, what all they had done to it. Because on the outside of the building, they painted this great big, huge, modern looking squiggly thing on the front. And of course, they did the same thing to the inside. And I'm like, so what about the ghost? And they're like, yeah, we kicked the ghost out. You know, there's one room that some people still claim that it might be in, but they're like, we don't advertise it or promote it. And I'm like, hey, that was a really cool thing about this hotel. You know? People would come and be like, I want to stay in the ghost rooms or on the ghost floor, or, you know. But I'm not that person. I was not the one that wanted to stay on the ghost floor. I'm like, nope, no ghost for me, thank you.
No ghost floor for me.
Yep, no ghost floor for me, thank you. Matter of fact, make sure that that my room is on the elevator that goes lower than the ghost floor, because I don't want the ghost to mess with the elevator either.
I would be the one asking for the ghost room.
And be like,
floor.
Okay, you see, if the ghost is on floor 5, and we're gonna put you on floor 6, be like, no, because be my luck, the ghost would be like, let's go to the elevator, not let it go up it.
No, I'd ask for the ghost floor. I'd be like, yes, give me the ghost floor, please. Thank you.
I was just kind of disappointed that they weren't still using it as, like, hey, you realize like how much money you could make off people who would come just to see if they could find the ghost, or hear the ghost, or see the ghost.
Right.
I mean, there are a lot of people who would do that. Be like, hey, I'm gonna come see the ghost.
Mm-hmm. They would.
Don't y'all realize how much money you're not making right now?
Stupid move.
Yeah. Well, I think that like right now they're pretty, they probably stay pretty full because the hotel next to them is doing a lot of renovation. They share the same block. So I think that once that hotel finishes their renovations, they're going to start having competition again. And then,
Right.
I wonder if that means magically the ghost will move back.
Oh, yes, we've seen a spike in activity. There's a ghost again.
They're like, oh, the ghost went next door during the renovations and came back. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll go with that story, sure.
Mm-hmm.
This length of floss is not behaving. Keeps knotting up, and
mine keeps doing the twist and then the double twist. It's like, I drop the needle so it can untwist itself, and I'm doing, two threads.
mm-hmm.
Every so many stitches, drop the needle, and then, sometimes you take where they're, connected, and and so that you have it all the way long, and you have it nice and straight, and then you start working with it, and like it'll do one stitch, maybe 2 stitches, and then suddenly it will twist, and then the end of my looks like this, where some of it they started out
Mhm.
exactly equal, and now the end, one is shorter than the other. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm not gonna even.
Mhm.
I'm just. I'm gonna force it to work. But I think that that's what's slowing me down on this linen as well. As this is my first, linen project. Is that I'm probably using the wrong size needle, but I have no idea what size this needle is. So,
Do you like it? The linen?
the more I'm working on it, I'm starting to like. I love the feel of it, and these are a little bit more even in some places. But what throws me off is the occasional line that the one thread is just way thicker than all the other threads for like 20 stitches. And then there'll be another thread that's either vertical or horizontal that's just really thick. The slubs I'm kind of getting used to. It's that one really thick thread that makes my stitches not all square
Yeah.
that I'm trying to get used to, because that's what I use sometimes to tell if I'm stitching in the right space is, are the bottom two corners of this stitch lining up with the bottom two corners of these? And I'm like, they're off half a stitch. But they're really not. It's just because the squares are different sizes.
Mhm. Yeah, linen is not my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, this was given to me, so I'm definitely thankful, and the person had started it, so I love that I have a few of her stitches, and I stitch with her at the LNS before it closed. So I'm great to have it for those memories. But I probably would not go and choose to buy linen at this point on my own unless I just get better with it. Because it's way slowed me down, and not that I'm fast, I'm slow stitcher normally anyway, but it's way slowed me down, and it's caused even more issues with my counting than I already had.
So you usually do even weave?
Yeah, I usually do. Well, pretty much I stitch on anything because a lot of my stash was given to me to get me started. So I have Ada, I even have some Tula, I have all sorts of different things, but I think 28 count even weave is my favorite for not full coverage stuff. I haven't figured out my favorite for full coverage stuff, but for not full coverage, I think 28 even weave is probably my favorite. But I also haven't, I have like one 35 or 36 count, and I have some 32. I like 32, but my eyes get way tired with it.
I think 32 Lugana is like, if I had to pick one, 32 count Lugana would probably be mine.
And I don't always understand the difference between the Lugana and the
Jovelyn and Jaslyn and Brittany and
I don't understand the differences.
Monaco and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Someone who does understand that needs to like make a video with a tutorial or whatever as far as like what the difference is, because like
what's the difference? Because you hear like Priscilla and Chelsea, they only use the Monaco, and then some people say no, I only use the Jovelyn, or I only use the Lugana. Well, why?
No, I mean, I know, like I've used Monaco, I've used Jovelyn, I've used Lugana. Jovelyn is very, very soft.
Okay.
Very soft, very floppy, I guess.
Okay.
Lugana is stiffer. It's a little tighter, it's a little stiffer.
Okay.
And then Monaco is, at least the Monaco I used, is even tighter and stiffer than that.
Okay. So the Monaco would be closer to Ada in fabric feel.
Yes.
Okay. And then that would make Joblin the farthest from the feel of Ada.
Yes.
Okay.
Is Joblin a blend?
I think so.
Like, is
I
that
think
is it
Joblin's
always?
like, I think so, but like I said, I don't necessarily know all the differences between them.
Yeah.
But I think it is a blend. Whereas I think Lugana and Monaco are 100% cotton, right?
Monaco is for sure. Now Brittany is the same as Lugana. It's just that's what they call it overseas.
Oh,
Right.
okay. So it's just a different name for the same type of fabric.
Yes.
That's for 28 count only, though. 32 count has
Yes.
another name. I can't think what it is right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you
So
go
then
and
you
you
get,
go
like-
and talk about linen, and it's like, okay, Belfast, 32 count always, right? But you talk about even weave, and you're like, okay, Brittany, but okay, so that's the same as Lugana, but only in the size 28 count.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Murano. That's 32 count. Lugana.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if I hear Cashel, does that mean that's 28, right?
Maybe.
What is Cashel?
Is Cashel 28 count? Someone who does linen.
Yes.
Okay.
28 Cashel. Because I know I've seen that too when I was looking at 28
Edinburgh
counts.
is 36 count, and Newcastle is 40 count.
Edinburgh is 36, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then where does things like 25 count come in? Or is that just me confusing it with 36 count?
25 count is a Lugana, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an even weave, so I think it's a Lugana. But then there's like weird count linens. There's like Irish linen that's like off count. That's like weird.
Oh.
And then what do you call like 30 count linen and 35?
Weeks.
I was gonna say I have some weeks that I know is 30 count, and I'm like, what do they call that?
Right.
Weeks, and you don't buy it.
Okay. I was gonna say it was given to me. I haven't tried to use it yet to know what's gonna.
It depends when it's from, because they have gone back to using Zweigert fabrics, which are better. So
Okay.
like their 46 count now is like fine to use. Where like
What were they using before?
I don't know.
Because they were using Zweigert and then they switched to something else, and everybody talked about how it was like really, really thin.
Yeah, it could have.
But I don't.
Which linens are like see through?
But I don't do linen, so
Above.
like I have. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the pieces I have with linen. I have a piece that's on a Crafty Kitten Belfast. That's a UK dyer. And then I have two pieces on color and cotton linen. And one of those I actually did buy. The other one was gifted to me, but the color and cotton linen is very nice.
Okay.
I think she uses a Zweigert base. But I still, most of the time I do seek out even weave. I like the color of the linen I picked out is just, it was perfect, and it's not terrible to work on. So
You have to know, like when you're buying linen, you have to know your dyer, and you have to know like what kind of linen they use, because some linens are like so slubby and bad, and then. Oh, I want to try coloring. Like Leslie uses good linen. Stephanie uses good linen. I've never had an issue with either of them.
I haven't used either of their linens. I've only used one piece of Leslie's fabric, but I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I need to try some Stephanie.
I went from this project, which is like 40 count from Leslie, to Lady Justice, which is on 32 count from Stephanie, and it was huge.
Yeah,
Feel like
I love jumping from like one size to another, and you're like,
10 count? Like, what is this?
yeah, it's funny. I don't know, week before last or something like that. I finished my Fuzzy Fox Designs turkey that I had, and I started that on 14 count, and I hadn't stitched on anything 14 count for a little while. So like I started doing it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is huge. These stitches are ginormous. Am I stitching like over 2 spaces or something? Like, 'cause I was looking at it and I was like, oh my god, these are huge.
Yeah, it's like you feel like you're doing something wrong. Like, why is this so big?
Well, and I think it'd been a little while since I actually stitched on Ada too. So, but yeah, it was kind of funny.
One crafts enthusiast is asking 25 can't talk. 25 count is Hardacre?
Oh, 22 count is remaining.
Yeah, 22 count.
25 count can be even weave or linen. I do have a couple projects that's supposed to be done on like, I think on Tula, which is made for like 10 count or something crazy.
All right, ladies, I'm gonna have to bid you farewell.
All right. Have a good night.
I'll certainly try. I got a lot of her hair done there.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah. That's really pretty.
I don't remember what that one's called. It's a Mo's sale, but I don't remember what it's called. Cena, I think. I know it's a Moana color because it's like neon almost. All right, have a wonderful night, ladies.
Ready? Night night.
Bye.
Bye.
So are we all working on Plum Street or?
No.
No.
I am.
Jen, what about you? I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm working on carriage house sampling.
Thank you.
You in Korea.
It's just sometimes you sound like you're way, way back there.
I am. I'm all the way in the U.S. I'm in Florida, which is sinking away. My high school legit was sinking, but they fixed it, I think.
Okay, that's good.
It's because they built it on the Everglades.
Yeah, that's not smart.
And they named it after the woman whose like life goal was protecting the Everglades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were not right.
Oh, Florida. I had to say that for my friend Candace. She always says that. She's from Florida.
Okay.
Linda, what are you stitching?
I can't show it here, but I'm stitching special gift, prize gift for someone that may watch the live video
Okay.
later on.
Oh, I think I know. Who? I passed my test, Linda.
Huh?
Remember I was like I had to do work for that test for work?
Yeah.
I passed. That means I get to keep it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh.
But that means they can't just get rid of me.
You passed the test.
Did you get to take it at the right time when you wanted to take it?
Well, I didn't get to choose, really. But it's fine.
It's done.
I have to reschedule a class because of it.
Craft enthusiast says, I am stitching another design out of the 2015 Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition.
Oh.
He then says the best wacky stories come out of Florida.
Got plenty of them. Like I do live in South Florida, home of like the face eating zombies. Yeah.
How hard is it to make an X? Oh my goodness. I just see another one where, well, I think it's because this is like, in this area is like a really soft beigey gold on this light brown fabric. But I see where I only did one leg. I didn't even do the other leg. Like, how did I not do the whole other leg?
How hard is it to not stick your needle in the wrong hole? And like stitch over 3 instead of over 2, and then keep going, even though you know that stitch doesn't look right. And then I'm like, wait, why is that through that hole where it's on the wrong side of the leg? You know, like it was on the wrong side of the uppy downy.
Yeah. And I'm like, I guess it's because I have like all the lights on in this room. So it's like, oh, it's way brighter than what I've been stitching under. First, when I checked in here, I'm like, wow, they have an awful lot of lights. And then I went, wait a minute, they're all over the desk area. Yay, stitching spot.
Yeah, normally hotel lighting is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, like the rest of it, like when you come in and you hit the switch, it turns on the light that's over me, but the room, if that's all you have on in here, it's way dark because it's a very light light bulb. But this light right here and this light right here make it very bright. So I have like one light that has 3 bulbs, one light that has 2 bulbs, and then another light that has 1 bulb all over me. So it's like lots of light in this one spot anyway.
That's like Gary says he just takes the lampshades off.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. Take the lamp if I'm in another one in the next. I might be in another one the next few days. Just depends on what's going on with. If I'm not able to get all the way home after my doctor's visit tomorrow, I might end up in another one. But we'll just have to wait and see.
To get to your house?
Yeah, that's part of the drama that happened earlier. I may not be able to.
Oh,
Well, I might be able to get there, but I might not have a place to sleep when I get there. It sounds like there's someone using my room again, or still.
what? They let
Yeah.
somebody else go in your room?
No, my landlord, they had like family come down for a family reunion, and I was house sitting earlier this month or earlier in the summer. And so they just put their family in the house instead of putting them in a hotel because they were only going to be there for the family reunion. But then the uncle got sick and in the hospital, so they didn't want to go home and leave him here. But they couldn't afford to put themselves in a hotel, so they just stayed in the house. Well, they had to use my bedroom for, some of their family members because they had a lot of family members there, and without my approval or whatever. And how I found out about it was my house sitting ended early, and I went home and I walked in and there's someone in my room.
Is that
So they're like, oh, well, we didn't know that you were, coming home and da 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 da. And they explained family, and I'm like, I don't care if it's your family. Like, just if you would have asked me, I probably would have said yes. But the fact that you just did it, and then you said, well, I never would have known if I wouldn't have come home early, makes me think that they had done it a lot before that.
Is that like your bed, like your furniture and your belongings in there?
Uh-huh. Yes. And yeah. And I mean, plus I'm paying for the spot. Even if I'm spending 2 weeks at someone's house watching their house, I'm still paying for the room. Like, I'm paying my monthly rent. So
I only pay half the rent for the next month.
yeah, even if I'm not there, I'm still paying for it. It's still mine, even if I'm not there. Well,
Exactly.
So the call I got was that there may be her sister came down and her credit card isn't working. So she said, well, I'm going to have her sleep on the couch, but she may borrow your bed. I'm like, no, she may not borrow my bed. Yeah. So I guess I will see what awaits me when I get there. But, I'm looking for a new place to live anyway, but that's hard because now that my car is down, that makes a big difference in where I can be. Because I have to be able to get to my medical appointments, and my medical appointments are not near public transportation. So not having a car right now is really not good. And finding a place to live right now is not good without a working car. So I'm just a little frazzled about it. So like I said, I don't know what situation's going to be there and then how I'm going to handle it, because I'm a very patient person, and I'm very much like forgive and forget and the bygones be bygones, and it's just stuff anyway. But when I get to a point, like I speak my mind and tell them what I think and feel. It's not like I hold everything in, but I also don't make huge ultimatums or threats but I have a feeling if I go in and someone's in my room, I'm gonna not say nice things.
I would not pay them rent for however long they've been using your room that you couldn't be there.
Yeah, but in Texas, there's the tenants don't have those kind of rights. You pay rent whether you use it or not.
But
So even if someone else is using my room, I still am liable for my rent, or they can evict me.
well, no, that doesn't make sense because they were in your space, which you have a lease.
We don't have a legal lease. No, we just we have we had a lease, and then instead of renewing the lease, how it basically works, you just extend. So like if the lease ends on this date, you just extend for 30 more days. That's kind of how a lot of people do it when they're renting rooms in their houses, so that they're not so that they don't have to deal with following the rules, basically. You know,
But that's
which
not right, because like I'm just saying that like that's
yeah, it's not, but it's what you have to do when you're poor, you know. You know, it's how they take advantage of people, you know. It's just like they know you don't have an option. They know you can't just leave tomorrow and move somewhere else.
But you
So,
should have some rights.
yeah, you can take them to court. I did that once. I had one like I rented the whole basement of the house, and I wasn't, you know, sick like I am now, and I had, you know, really excellent income, and it was just I worked so much there was no need to have a huge space. So I'm just like, I'm just going to rent the basement of an apartment. I mean, a basement of a house instead of commuting so far. And we even had a lease, and, you know, they would have like their children would go in my room and play with my dog. And like, they would feed her pumpkin seeds, and I had to pump her stomach out. So I, you know, gave them, you know, hey, I want to lock for my door. We don't want you to lock your door. What about if there's a flood or there's a fire and you got to be able to get your dog out or you out, or, you know, have to be able to get into the space. And so I understand all those things. So anyway, I didn't break the lease, but I didn't give them the full notice that they wanted. And we went to court, and it took forever. And, you know, I got like $300 out of the deal, but I ended up paying like $700 or $800 in, you know, cost plus missed work. Plus it just, in the end, it wasn't worth it.
Wow.
plus
It's like,
the bills. They should have paid the vet bills.
oh yeah, nope. Then that's basically what they said my $300 was, you know.
So I just had my needle go flying.
Uh-oh.
It's a
Well, here, she'll take her wand and stick it through the phone. Got the needle.
when I just
I'll start wanding you.
literally it went flying, so I have no idea where it could be. This is annoying. When I have needles, I just like that.
But really, like renting a room in somebody's house is really what it's really designed for, is for short term in between this and this. That's what that kind of living is designed for. It's really not designed for people who are going to live year after year after year. You know, it's kind of designed for, you're going to move in, you're going to stay 3 months, 6 months, a year, you're going to move out, then maybe in 2 or 3 months, they'll move someone else in. It's really not designed for, they don't want somebody in there all year round usually.
Yeah, but they still shouldn't have the right to just walk into your place.
Yeah. And yeah, so it just like, you know, I move into places and I think that, you know, the next one's got to be better than the last one. But my history lately has been the next one is being worse than the previous one. So I'm just kind of, I've got to get under that little black cloud of stuff like this happening. Because the one I moved out of before this, they had a septic system in the backyard that flooded into my bedroom. So, yeah, and I had 3 inches of it in my, luckily the furniture in that particular house was theirs, not mine. And all my stuff was up off the floor. But needless to say, I did leave. I'm like, I'm not staying here.
I'll be back.
Because they had a like 7-acre property, and they had the people who owned the house, so it was the couple and their usage. Then they had a friend's 2 sons, teenage sons that lived there, and then my room that was rented, and then the guy next to me's room that was rented, and that would have been enough on the septic system. Like that would have been like the maximum it could handle. But then they had 2 RVs on the property, and those people would come use the bathrooms and the showers.
Yes.
So yeah, so you have like 9 people using a septic system built for a single family house. So I mean, I told them it was going to happen, and they,
Missy, look at the cats.
Yeah.
huh?
Look at the cat.
I got what?
Look at the cat.
I'll start talking and maybe it'll go to me and then you can see.
Oh,
Um,
kitty cat.
This is, Leslie Hurley.
Mm-hmm.
I got the cat from her.
Isn't that? Look at that little sweet face.
Pretty.
Oh my goodness, what's the kitty's name?
Nexie.
Nexie. Hi, little Nexie. You're a cutie pie. I'm an animal lover.
Yeah, me too. If you were in California, man, renters have all the rights. You could stay somewhere for 3 months without paying.
Yeah, it depends on the state. It's all state based, because I've lived in some states where, there would be no way they could do any of this. I could file legal claims against them. They'd be accused of breaking and entering, and I'd get mental anguish. But it's not.
They have to give you like a written thing that they're coming in. It has to be 24 hours before they go in. All this stuff.
Yeah, but this state is not that way. So
California, people have like.
that's a cutie.
Like,
Oh my goodness.
California have it way better.
What, the renters?
Yeah, they have it.
Yeah.
Nurses in California have it really good too, because they have they have set patient ratios and they can't go over that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know some nurses.
Yeah, so like they have set, like it's like set by the by the state, so that they can only have X number of patients. Because there's been studies done where like it's safer, like after you get it, like it's the safest is like a certain amount of patients, and for like every patient you add after that, the risk of like mistakes and like stuff happening goes up by like a big percentage.
So what do they do when more people check in the hospital?
They have to bring in more nurses.
Where do they bring them from?
What do you mean?
Just
They're
off duty.
PRN or something, or
They have a lot of travelers and like
Yeah.
they have more staff at those hospitals. Like they have more staff available, because you kind of know like what your patient levels are.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of casual.
okay.
So like they have like a lot of more nurses.
Because I know
They get time and a half after they work 8 hours, and nurses work a 12-hour shift.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy, like the way that their pay rate works. It's like very different from.
But what's the cost of living?
Well, I'm not even
It's not good.
I'm talking about like how their differentials and stuff work is very different from here.
Yeah.
'Cause after
But
8
I look at like when Toyota came here to North Texas, what it did to which is why I'm renting like I am, because I can't afford an apartment or a house. A 1-bedroom nice apartment. I'm not talking like a bad, I'm talking about a nice apartment in our area was between like a 1-bedroom, not a studio, or it actually is a separate bedroom, was like $750 to $950. Now the same quality, same size room now is about $1,900.
Whoa.
That's what happened when Toyota came here, because there wasn't enough housing from all the people that moved from California.
Is that Plano?
Yes.
Oh, because my roommate from college worked for Lexus and she got moved and she had to go to Plano and she has an apartment there. Yeah, so.
Well,
I
live in Plano, but it technically moved to Frisco, but it affected all of Collin County, and it really affected all of the area, because then, they could afford to pay higher rates because they were used to higher rental rates. So what they were doing is like, let's say I'm just going to say husband and wife, because it's just husband comes with Toyota, wife and kids stay behind and wait to sell that house till husband comes here, gets settled, finds out where they want to live. So he rents a room or he rents an apartment, and then he buys a house, and then the family moves. Well, he buys that house, and then when his house in California sells, he can afford another house. So then he buys that house as a rental property. So that still kept the prices of houses extremely high because there was a demand. And there was a shortage of certain levels of apartment style house. There was a shortage of like the upper level apartment style housing. So tons of luxury apartments got built. And like I know a lady, she had to sell her house because her taxes went up $30,000 on her property. And she's like, how can I afford $30,000 worth of taxes, like property taxes? And they said, well, that's the value of your property, but you try and sell it, it's not going to sell for that. So it's kind of like it inflated. So the house I lived in Frisco, Frisco, was a single family home, and it now is occupied by 3 generations of a family because that's how many people have to live there to afford to pay for it.
Wow.
Because it went from being a $200,000 house to a $600,000. Just a basic house. So I understand growth is great, and I think a lot of us in Texas misunderstood, or we were under the impression that a lot of people from California were not going to move, and that it was going to create an exorbitant amount of new jobs with Toyota, and that's not what happened. They're like, oh yeah, we'll move to Texas. So it's, and we're still like, things are starting to come down, but then the Cowboys moved out to Frisco. So it's the whole county is just kind of very overly expensive right now. But I heard that a lady said the same problem was happening around Fort Worth too as well, because people were going out further to find. So the people who had to sell their houses or chose to sell their houses to, okay, here's people who are willing to buy our houses for, let's make $100,000 on it, couldn't buy a house close, so they had to move farther out. So it created like this housing inflation in the whole metroplex. So, and we had an increase in homelessness. It just created a whole thing. It's like, so.
Why do I have words for your landlord?
Yeah, I have some very choice words that I'm trying to be a lady and not say them, but I'm afraid that they're going to eventually come out of my mouth, and then I'm, because it's become a situation where it's you're purposely taking advantage of me. Now I can understand kind of one time, but just the way it was, you had an emergency, but then, hey, you call the person, hey, Melissa, my family, can they stay? It's an emergency. Can I use your room? That would be one thing, but just keeping it all a secret, hoping I would never find out because I wouldn't be home till they were gone, is just dirty pool. And then here I am gone again, and now I'm coming back a few days earlier than they thought,
and now there's someone in my room again. It makes me wonder if someone's living there all the time I'm not there.
Yeah, and who knows how many times they've slept in your bed, done who knows what, and then
Right.
like changing your sheets.
Yeah, and then, you know, so then I can't just come home and lay down on my bed and relax. I've got to come home, wash the sheets, you know, check the bed for bed bugs, you know. It's like I have to go through a whole rigmarole just to even do anything. So,
I just can't believe that's legal.
yeah, they get away with it. Oh, believe me, there's worse. Oh, I've had worse situations. I had a couple that one was bipolar and drank with his medicine, and the other was rehabilitating off of cocaine and heroin. And you'd come home and they'd be smashing the lights, hitting each other, banging heads against the wall. And I couldn't break my lease because until like the police were called like the fourth time, and then the police were like, yeah, lady, break your lease. We're not like supposed to tell you that, but break your lease because this is just not, you know, there's nothing healthy in this for anybody. And eventually you're going to get hurt. You're going to get in the middle of one of their spats and get hurt. So. But technically they could have, you know, sued me for the remainder of the amount of the lease. They technically could have. But I think they didn't want a battle in court because they didn't want everything that they had been doing brought to, you know, because I could have, you know, testified on some things that probably would have got both of them thrown in jail. So it was just a situation where I think they're like, oh, we'll just let her go. But then there's the cost, because then I have to hurry up and find a place to live, or hurry up, put all my stuff. Like, luckily in my room is just like a couple pieces of furniture and like a suitcase worth of clothes. I have moved after I found that someone had been in my room. I've moved anything of value into my storage shed where everything is, but I shouldn't have to maintain a storage shed and rent. I mean, that's just nuts, but it's what I have to do right now. So.
Have any like low income housing?
Yeah, but I don't qualify. Well, I qualify. I'm actually on a list for low income housing. I'm number 800 on the list.
Oh, so you just have to keep waiting.
I've been waiting for 5 years.
And you're
because I'm the wrong ethnic group and I don't have children. They get priority. You get on the list, but if someone has a higher protected class than you, you get bumped below them. They get bumped, they go above you.
I know how that is.
So, I mean, basically social worker told me I'll never get a low income house. So.
That's not right. Like, they shouldn't tell you that.
Well, she basically was trying to, because I was like, okay, how many more years am I going to be waiting? She says, we don't know. She's because, you know, you're not a protected class. I'm like, I'm disabled. She says, that's not a protected class. Well, it is, but under all the other protected classes, like it's women with children first, and then it's battered women, and then it goes down ethnic lines, and then it goes to me.
That's ridiculous.
That's how it is. Because otherwise, everybody says it's discrimination. If they put me in a low-income house and they don't put someone with a child in a low-income house or someone of a different ethnicity in the low-income house, then they can claim racism. So that's how it works.
Dumbass shit.
Yeah. Just the way that it's like all the taxes I've paid for all the years I've worked don't do me a darn bit of good. So. I think the reason the social worker just finally told me that is because she just didn't want me keeping my hopes up. You know, she wanted me to just, if someday you move up the list, but in other words, don't rely on this, find another option. And that's when I started renting rooms, because that was the only option I could do at the time. So. It will get better. I mean, I know that something will break. There is a light at the tunnel, and it is not always an oncoming train. I mean, I know that I just have to keep looking and keep working and keep moving on. And keep stitching, because that way I can stab my troubles away, right? Stab the fabric, stab the fabric. How did I get that? Did I mess up? Why is there a stitch in that spot? This is why I don't like doing cross country, because I lost a color. There shouldn't be a stitch there. What did I do wrong? Yeah, I don't have that color. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Yeah, what did I do? What color is that? Okay, that looks like 434, which is which symbol? The X with the square around it. Okay, so that's still not right. 801, is that 801? Okay, that's 801.
Thought it was 434.
I thought it was 434 too. It's not, it's 801. Okay, 434 is, but it's supposed to be 430. I'm confused. This is why I just needed to highlight this pattern from the beginning and not try and be stupid and stitch the way I have been. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 2. Okay, I'm just gonna skip that spot for right now, because that's just driving me crazy. Where's the triangle? Triangle is 502. See this? I don't understand. What are those two little itsy stitches doing in the middle of nowhere? What are those for? What are these supposed to be? I have no idea.
I didn't want to start this at the bottom. I wanted to start this at the top. Damn it! Well, at least started. I'm not undoing it.
I've never started a project from the bottom before. I might have to try that sometime.
The moon that I'm working on now. The moon. That's okay. I'll work my way up that one.
But why does that look yellow? That looks yellow, but not the same shade of yellow as that. I don't think they should put color pictures on these things when the colors on the picture have nothing to do with what they have on the chart. It's like they have this charted to be a brown, and like in here is supposed to be 2 different shades of brown.
Mhm.
On the picture, it's a gold and the dark brown, but it's charted to be 434 and 801. So it's charted to be these 2 colors. But in the picture, it's gold and brown, almost like if it was these 2 colors, but it's not these 2 colors.
Well, since it's an old pattern, is it one of the colors that's changed?
Mm-mm. No, 434 has pretty much consistently been 434, I think. And I don't know that if 729 was another number or not, but not so. Maybe that's my mind saying it's time to stop stitching for tonight.
Well, does it matter? Can you just change the colors of the quilt?
Yeah, I mean, I could change the color. I'm so much of a stickler for making it the way it was designed to be made. I don't have my own original creativity for changing colors, because I'm always afraid I'm going to put it in the wrong like color family of what's supposed to be around it, like put a jewel tone when it's supposed to be another tone or whatever. So, or it'd be like blatantly obvious to anybody. It's like, oh, you changed color. Didn't do a very good job of it. And I don't even know why 3865 is in here, because this is the only white color in here is actually Blanc. So 3865 has no business being in my kitted up. That's so.
See, my chart uses 3865 instead of Blanc.
I think I would have liked this better if 3865 was the white on here, but it's way too late to change that now. Because then it would have looked like an older home. Just that little bit of, just like leave like their pinafores white, but use the 3865 for the building. If I would have thought of doing that, that would have been good. But that I didn't think of doing that. So. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this mess up and get ready to go sleep so I can get ready for the doctor in the morning. So I will see y'all next time.
All right.
Right.
Good night.
Bye. Is Sammy working tonight, if anybody knows?
Yeah, Sammy's working tonight. That's how we're live, but Sammy's connection's not great, so that's why she's just muted with her camera off.
Okay.
Back. I will be right back.